of Troy, Philippines is Jeff Okita.
Yeah!
Nice shirt.
Thank you.
I saw that at Modern. It's
All
a
right.
real boy.
Okay. The reason that I think I'm qualified to be Troy Phi's vice president is based on my past leadership experience and my strong vision for Troy Phi in the future. My leadership experience really started in high school, where I was involved in the Filipino American Youth Leadership Conference, and I was a founding member of the Filipino Youth Coalition in Sacramento. And when I came to SC, I was a refounding father of Phi Delta Theta fraternity, and I directed over 20 philanthropic events, the biggest being the Walk to Defeat ALS. The Walk to Defeat ALS, I planned an event for over 2,000 individuals. I marketed to over 200,000 others, and we raised over $335,000 for the cause. And I really tried to be as active as possible in Troy Phi this year, coming to every event like SIPA Halloween, JFAB, Friendship Games, SC Pasa. But I also did stuff behind the scenes, such as trying to help for Barrio Fiesta, developing PACN corporate sponsorship letters, and finding the Crown Plaza Hotel, and helping to negotiate the contract for our upcoming formal. And the reason that I do all these things for Troy Phi is because I really believe that Troy Phi is one of the best organizations on campus. And just throughout this year, I've really learned to love the campus, and especially the people in it. And I really feel like I found my niche here in USC. And that's because eBoard did a great job in creating events to make us all very close together. But I do think that there are areas in which we can improve. And that's where I want to bring in the awesome. So A, an increase in organization and communication. I think we need to cut down on Filipino time a little bit, and there needs to be more communication between eBoard and the general members. W, working closely with each eBoard position to make sure that they go above and beyond the minimum expectations of their position. E, events that are bigger and have a bigger effect. The Filipino admittance rate is dropping, and we really need to go out there into the community and make it known that we're a strong presence on USC campus. So the families are going to want to send their kids to USC to be in Troy Phi. S? S. Strengthening the Kuya Ate program. I would like to see more member retention, and to do that, I think that each new member needs to have a Kuya or an Ate to make sure that they come to meetings, come to events, and that they just really feel like they're part of the Troy Phi family. Oh! Overall, more involvement with the general members in event planning is, I know that you guys all have really great ideas and your voice needs to be heard. And I think the best way to do that is for you guys to be directly involved in the planning. I just think that Troy Phi programming will be a lot stronger that way. M, more community events. In addition to Barrio Fiesta, I would like to have the Filipino American Youth Leadership Conference in LA. I think that a lot of our youth are really disconnected, and they really need mentors like us to show them about the Filipino American issues. And I think that by doing all this, we will empower ourselves and the community. And these are just some of my goals for Troy Phi. I really think that it's important to keep all the good things, but really to see where we can improve. And that's why my platform is keeping the good and bringing in the awesome. So, vote awesome. I don't have that many undershirts, so.
Hold it up. Opening it up to questions. Amanda?
Yeah, I kind of have a two-part question. Your platform is really centered around events and fundraising. Why do you feel, why are you choosing to run for vice president as opposed to one of the more specified appointed positions like fundraising or programming? And you also talked about adding more programming. This eBoard has done a lot more than any past years has done before. How are you going to maintain the tradition, but also keep up and be able to do everything that we already do and do it to a great extent?
Okay. The reason I'm running for vice president rather than just a single position is because, like you said, I do have fundraising ideas and program ideas and all that stuff, but I would like to be involved in all of those things. And to be able to be a part of all those things is, I think the vice president position is one that oversees every single position and helps out with those. And so while the ideas in my platform might have been centered around fundraising and programming, I do have ideas for culture, I do have ideas for all the rest of the positions. And yeah, the Troy Philippines schedule is very packed. And I do believe that there are a lot of traditions that do need to be kept, but I do also think that maybe we should move in the direction of planning more cultural events. Like we didn't have a Barrio Fiesta last year, and I think that we definitely need to have one this year. In addition, I do still think that we need to have a Filipino American Youth Leadership Conference, and that's really would take one weekend. We'd be planning during the year, but you know, one weekend to have such a big event is definitely worth it.
Any other questions? Carlos?
What sets you apart from other candidates in this position?
I think that based on my previous experience in different organizations is that it's really shown that I'm really able to follow through with my word and to get things done when they need to be done. I don't want to say any false promises. These are my goals, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to achieve them, but I know that I'm very ambitious and that I do have a lot of goals for Choi Phi. But I know that I'm going to work my hardest and to make sure that eBoard works their hardest to reach these goals.
Okay, last question, Amanda?
Another huge responsibility that you haven't touched on too much is being the external representative for our club. How are you going to maintain those relationships that we've really created? We've seen a lot of support from other Filipino clubs. How do you plan? What are your goals for that, and how do you plan to achieve them?
I do think that it's important, of course, to maintain our relationship with SC PASA and to keep that growing and stuff. And I would honestly love for them to be involved, let's say, in our Filipino American Youth Leadership Conference, to have them come and even be a SoCal Filipino American Youth Leadership Conference. That could potentially be a very big event and involving many external clubs. And I mean, external is everyone in the community. I've kind of talked about all my goals in the community and what I want to do there. And of course, I'm very comfortable with being the external face and being the person that meets with these people to get them to come on board. Different corporations and stuff, I'm very used to talking to them and getting them to support our cause. And so I really think that being the external face shouldn't be a problem for me.
Okay, last question. How will you remedy the clique situation in Choi Phi?
I think that one way to do that is, again, strengthening the Kuya Ate program. I think that with a lot of cliques, what happens is some people tend to fall through the cracks, some people that may not be as outgoing. And I think that it's very important for those people to have a Kuya and Ate to at least make sure that they feel connected to the organization somehow. So it's okay for there to be groups of friends and stuff. It's just that when we forget about the other people, that's when it becomes a problem. And so we just need to make sure that every single person really does feel like a part of this Choi Phi family.
Thank you, Jeff. So that was it for our vice president candidates. And our last speaker for tonight